roder. Lort. Og jeg har ikke nogen server, jeg kan joine endnu overhovedet, eller noget som helst, eller hvad? Hallo? Jeg kan køre noget. Jeg kan køre nogle timer. running. Everything's up and running. All of it.
Oh, damn.
Det vælter ind på kommentarer, alt muligt. Det er mega populært. Hvad laver du det her? Jeg bare ikke er der, ikke gør deres arbejde. Jeg er mildest talt ej. Planlagde, du skulle være i aften, og jeg synes, at det skulle være, men han er ikke. Jeg kan ikke blive enig. Fint, hvor er det blandt der. Nå, det er det. Ja, det var bare færdigt. Det gør det.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Suzuka. Welcome to Assetto Corsa Competizione. My name is Aidan Milward, and I'm here to bring you through this little test session that we've got rigged up for you here tonight, just to see how all this works and things like that. So, yep, welcome once again, and got the qualifying going on here. So, this is free practice. I should really learn to read, shouldn't I? But I also do apologise for. If I do sound a little bit bunged up, it is allergy season here in the United Kingdom right now. The cherry blossom is firing off all of its bits and pieces. And we just need to see what's going on around Suzuka, shall we? So we've got Mike, or Mr. Veet. I've got to learn all these names. He has done a 2:01.173. He's currently flying down the back stretch across the unique figure of eightness of this track. He's now going through the 130R here. Up to the Casio Triangle. Very heavy braking zone into here. Clips the first apex nicely, and the second apex very nicely. Very good driving from him. So he's going across the line. And we've also got Mr. Nick Newcomb, a GTR24 commentator, currently sat in the pits. He's about 4 seconds off the pace, so he's definitely getting used to this new sim. It's mainly an R-Factor driver, is Nick. Very nice guy, if you ever get to meet him, from the northeast of England. And we've also got a Mr. Nielsen. He's just leaving the pits, actually. He's down in 11th place, 10 seconds off the pace in his Lamborghini Aventador GT3. Such a great sounding car, that. He's taken that into turn 1, just getting the tyres warmed up, because it takes a while for the tyres to come up to pressure and up to temperature in this, so it's a proper simulator. You can't just go out and start setting quick laps immediately. You've got to wait for the car to come to you, otherwise you're going to crash. And at Suzuka, that's quite an easy thing to do. Particularly the first section, is not a lot of runoff area for you to play with if you do get it wrong, especially here at turn 5. I think this is the Dunlop corner, the scene of a tragic accident a few years back that we won't dwell on too much, but also here at the Degners, Nielsen's got to throw it in really, really hard. Always missed the apex completely. Yeah, definitely got to wait for the tyres to come in. Exits Degner 2, he's got Pekala behind him. Guess a little bit of a whack from Pekala, I think. Pekala flashing his lights. Probably not happy with that, but Pekala is actually in 3rd position, coming into the hairpin, departing it as soon as he's left it. GT3 is still pretty quick compared to your normal road car. Obviously not as fast as the GTEs, certainly not as fast as Formula 1 cars, which is the fastest series that comes here. The spoon curve, one of my personal favourite corners in racing, but Pekala goes a bit wide. So I think that's his lap done for this time round. 4.2 seconds off the pace for Newcomb. Pekala just under a second off the pace, as qualifying has now expired, and we'll be moving into the race very, very shortly. So a couple of minutes from now, we will transfer over. I think Pekala isn't going to finish his lap. He got a cut track penalty for going wide at Spoon, so he brings his Ferrari into the pit lane. And I think everybody else is pretty much done. Veet, he's the fastest man on track, a 2:01 dead. Great lap time from him. By far the fastest man out there. But, you know, things can change in the race. And there's no prizes up for grabs here, just a bit of fun. And we really can't wait. So yeah, about 1 minute 35 to go until we transition into the race. So stick around, and we'll get going very, very shortly.
Well done, Craig. I just moved it. I am on the PC, the one without the name text on it, and I'm trying to control the camera on that one. I'm on the remote desktop for the computer with Okay, so you're on your center spectator. So I can't grab the screen from that. So right now you won't be knowing what you really need. London needs to put up to log in with the RN. Yeah. Let's change the port number 1 down, because I'm on the machine with the little port number. 98. 4890. I don't know the RF stuff. I have no idea. I've never used RF.
Alright, so we are just about to get going here at Suzuka. Everybody's just waiting for clearance to go, as Veit is going out for a little bit of a warm-up. 2-hour race, so he's going to be full on fuel rather than virtually no fuel for his qualifying session, so he'll be getting on with that just to see how the car handles. Shouldn't take him too much getting used to. This is a guy who is very, very used to ACC. Like I said before, Nick Newcomb, more of an R-Factor 2 guy coming over to ACC, so he's got to learn how to use the cars as they handle slightly differently between the two sims, but it's Nick Newcomb, he should be alright. Veit coming through the S's. We're just trying to set up a couple more things to aid us in the broadcast of this race, so we're just getting on with that, and we should be able to bring you a nice smooth broadcast where we know virtually everything that's going on. A little bit of a slide from Veit coming out of the second of the two Degners as he comes up towards the hairpin here. Used a lot of curb on the inside. That's not something I would do in this situation, but then again, this guy knows a lot more than me. Very, very quick driver. 2:01 he's set in qualifying. Up towards Spoon. Maximising the entry to take the fastest possible line through this double apex corner. In these cars, it's nowhere near as grippy as a Formula 1 car, so you'll be going through there a lot slower than normal, and can feel like you're taking forever to get through. And then he comes up over the bridge. Unique, this track, figure of 8. It's one of the few figure of 8s in the world. Well, that wouldn't be unique, would it? But he's coming up to the chicane. Probably the best overtaking spot on the track. Probably the safest overtaking spot on the track, but it's all dependent on how good you are through the 130R. That chicane, the scene of a infamous incident between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost in 1989, where everything was not to everybody's liking on that occasion, but you know, it's been 30 years, we should probably let it go. But yeah, Veit starting a time lap, although times won't matter because it's a warm-up. See what else is going on. There's not a lot else going on, just drivers driving around. Not a lot to see in the warm-up, to be honest. So Nick Newcomb in the Lexus here. So let's see what cars we've got driving around. We've got Veit, he's in the Aston Martin. Scat in the Ferrari. Slot also in a Ferrari. Newcomb in the Lexus. P Ghost, he's in the Porsche 911. Pekla in the Ferrari. Witt is also in an Aston Martin. Another Ferrari for Dono. Brian Gard, excuse me, he's in the McLaren. Mr. Nielsen in a Lamborghini. Bernberg in the Mercedes AMG SLS. Hertz in a Ferrari, and Lundan also in a Ferrari. So decent spread of cars. We've got a lot more Ferraris, but we've got a few brands represented here today. Be interesting to see how they all handle as well. Obviously, these cars are going to handle slightly differently. It's BOP that reels these cars in terms of performance, trying to make everything in such a way that the cars can race closer together without one brand running away with it every single season. But I'm just watching Newcomb coming through the spoon curve, struggling with a little bit of understeer by the looks of things. He's all right. So just doing a bit of a warm-up before the race goes live. Veit has set a 2 on 1.7, so he's probably just bombing around for feel. Newcomb wobbling a bit, going towards the chicane, trying to see how the car's feeling. London has now gone 2.8 seconds slower than Veit through this warm-up session. Brian Gard, 6 seconds off the pace. But it's all fine. It really is all fine. This is just a little bit of a test race put on by GTR24 to show you what kind of thing we've got going here. Thank you very much for turning up. Okay, so we've managed to get everything set up now. We've set up a little side screen so I can see what the camera director is looking at, and we've got about just over a minute remaining of this warm-up session. So just stand by. We'll be getting into the race very, very soon. Witt has brought the gap down to 1.4 seconds now. Hertz to 1.6. He's currently in third. Once again, I do apologise for the fact that I'm very bunged up. Allergy season here in the United Kingdom right now. A lot of cherry blossom firing off at the minute. It's bugged my nose right up. So Witt's gone off in the S's. See what happens here on the old replay. Oh, that's not a replay. That's going through the chicane. We're getting used to this. This is all new for me. ACC, very, very, very good sim. Now we're just in the transitional period. 1 minute 35, just to let everybody finish the laps that they are on. Who is currently on a lap? We've got Dono. He's about to cross the line, and he's improved by half a second, up to 9th. Slot is also on a lap. Oh, there we go. We're about to get going as everything's popped over to the rolling start. They're going to be starting just before the 130R, and I'll just quickly run you through the grid for this test race. We've got Veit, pole position, car number 69, the AMR V8 Vantage GT3, followed by Slot in the Ferrari 488, Scap also in the Ferrari 488. Then we've got Mr. Nick Newcomb in the Lexus RCF GT3. Very, very nice car that is too. And then we've got Ghost in the Porsche 911 GT3. Mr. Pekla in the Ferrari 488 GT3. And it's a slew of Ferraris behind. Pekla, Dono and Vellini all in the 488. Breingard in the McLaren, the sole McLaren on the grid. That's car number 188. Witt in the Aston Martin. Lundin in 15th position. He is in the Ferrari 488 also. Then we've got Nielsen in the Lamborghini. Bernberg in the Mercedes. And Hertz bringing up the rear of the grid in the... that's two different things I'm reading here. One's got different standings on it compared to the other. We'll work with this, ladies and gentlemen. It's this is why you do tests, but we've got 3 seconds before the race effectively begins with the rolling start. I'm just going to focus on Veit here for the start. Obviously, he's the pole sitter. Engines are on, and the cars are pulling away, going 2 by 2 towards the chicane. It's like watching the animals go onto Noah's Ark here. Veit slowing down a bit, probably trying to warm the brakes up, get those brakes nice and hot for turn 1, although you don't really brake too much into the first corner in most motorsports. Veit will have the inside line for the chicane. It's going to be very, very tight here. I don't know if the cars are going to pull in single files just to make their lives a little bit easier, but they're being very well behaved. And then they'll have to slow down to about 60 kilometers an hour, which is, we'll do the maths, carry the one, that's about 40 miles an hour, and then they will get running. Slot jumping ahead slightly. He'll have to pull back in if he doesn't want to get a penalty from the race directors, but we can see the view from the rear of Veit's car That's ominous, with all those cars wanting to chase him down into turn 1. But as Veit comes up to the line, we'll see the lights go green anytime soon. It's a long wait, very, very long wait. And it's boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Veit hasn't made a very good start. Slot is on the outside. He might try to swing it in for turn 1. But Veit's got some great speed, and he's managed to hug that inside line, take it nice and cleanly. Behind him, there's not a lot of carnage going on, so everybody's been very, very well behaved into turn 1 here. Yeah, everybody's through. Newcomb is in 4th, Slot, Cap, and Veit. So that's your top 4. And now they're just settling into straight. Oh, who's that gone off at the back? That's the... is that the McLaren? Sorry, I'm just clicking through trying to find out who's who here. Trying to identify the different cars. So I didn't see who that was that's gone off in the background. I do apologise for that one. But Veit has managed to pull out a bit of a gap to Slot behind him as Veit goes flying into... Oh, it's a great camera angle. I love that shot. The sort of heli cam through the 2 dead corners. But Slot is under attack from Ghost, heading towards the hairpin. But behind, you've got Scap and Newcomb, as London's having a little bit of wit for 8th position. But everything seems okay going into there. But London is still right up the back of Witt. Witt running in 8th place, having the Ferrari chasing him down. So Witt has now lost the place to London. But London's gone wide at the spoon curse, and Witt will say thank you very much, I'll have that back. He maintains his 8th position. But London's going to try and out-drag Witt. He's flashing his lights, so he's not happy about something. He's going to try and go down the inside of the 130 yard. Oh, was that a bit of contact? I don't know, but hard to see on the camera angles that I've got here. But Witt has survived that little bit of a nudge. Moving back through the field. Nilsson bringing up the rear by a long way. I think he might have started from the pit lane. But... it's pretty much as you were. I mean, Veit's pulling away, but you've got Slot, Ghost, Scap, and Newcomb right in behind as Ghost puts a move on Slot down the inside of turn 1 for 2nd place. Slot's holding on for now, but Scap wants a piece of the action. Oh, he's been barged, but he's managed to keep it on the track. Slot getting the old elbows out for that one, but he's okay. Everybody's still on track. Nobody's crashed off yet. Very, very clean racing today. Awesome stuff. I think Newcomb's actually managed to lose a place to Scap as well. So Vellini wanting to have a look at Newcomb as well as they head towards Degner 1. Looking at the rear of Newcomb's car here. Seeing that Ferrari filling the mirrors. So Slot's had a bit of a wobble coming out of the 2nd Degner, but he's not lost a lot of time. So Newcomb's still in 5th place here, but Vellini and co behind, wanting to have a look and grab a position. Oh, there's been contact between Hertz and Lundin a bit further back. Hertz got the back end all out of shape, but I'm still looking at the back of the Juices Motorsport Club car of Nick Newcomb. And now we're on Patrick Hertz, driving for Hertz Motorsport. Why not? Name the team after yourself. It's all good stuff. But, oh, yeah, here's the replay of Hertz. And that's not Hertz, that's a different corner, that is. Hertz has spun another competitor round. It's not very sporting, is it? But he's carrying on with that. A couple of cars going wide at 130R in the background there. You can see Pro Sim Ghost heading into the chicane in the Porsche 911 there. See who's... I mean, the gaps are still pretty damn close. We've got Bernberg about 0.3 of a second in 9th behind Hertz, who is in 8th. But it doesn't look like anybody's actually close enough to be sticking a move on anybody anytime soon. But this is endurance racing. You can't just barge your way to the front. You know, you've got to work on strategy and things like that. We've still got an hour and 55 remaining in this.
target.
Getting some really, really nice camera angles as well. You know, ACC looking so real. You know, you crank the graphics up, you could be forgiven. As I've seen Bernberg go a little bit wide at Dunlop corner, losing a position to Pekla. Newcomb back up into fourth. He's managed to stick a move on Verlini at some point. Verlini currently running in fifth. Scat and Ghost in the battle for P2. That's hotting up. You can see Scat just looking to the other side of Ghost, but I don't think he's that close. So Vites has put the gap up to 8 seconds right now. So he definitely knows what he's doing in this sim. Definitely been spending a lot of time online. Scat and Ghost still very, very close together. Let's see if we could just cut to that little battle for P2. We might be able to see if Scat could put one on the Porsche heading into the chicane, because he's very, very close right now. And to the outside. No. I should probably commentate on what's happening on what's actually on camera rather than what I'm seeing on my screen. So we're currently looking at Michael Bernberg. One of the Ferraris has been punted off into the kitty litter. That's not very sporting either. So Michael Bernberg has inherited a position there. That was Michael Slot that got tipped out. You're seeing a replay of this now as Slot comes up to the Casio triangle. A huge move. That was very Senna-like, but both cars kept on right. Both of them got tipped out. Not good at all. I think it was Mark Larkham that said if you can't make the judgment call to not stick in a silly move 400 yards into a 12-hour race, then don't bother turning up. But you know, this isn't competitive. We're just racing for fun here tonight. Like I say, it's a test race put on by GTR24 just to see how we can get this running and get the best broadcasts that we can for you all. Meanwhile, Newcomb and Verlini under a bit of pressure because Witt has just put a move on Verlini in the background there for 5th place. Great battles we're seeing here today. I know viewers love overtaking. 2-hour races for the GT Sprint Series. With a mandatory pit stop. So drivers will have to pull in, put some fuel in. I don't know if there are any rules regarding tyres, as long as you actually come in and make a stop. What they need is those little fluorescent strips that we had in the BTCC about 20 years ago, so you know who had made a stop and when. But here comes Scat out of the final corner. Gotta say that Ferrari looks absolutely gorgeous in that light. With Ghost in behind him in the Porsche, flashing his lights for some reason. Don't know if he's trying to start a 90s rave or not, but he's going to put on rhythm as a dancer, and we're all going to dance the night away. Oh, now we're on board as well. Oh, now we're looking at the rear of... oh, no, now we're looking at the front. Oh dear. Alright, well, look at the front as he throws it into Degner. He misses the apex there on the first part, but he's found the apex for the second part. Let's see if we can ride on board for the rest of the lap and sort of talk you around the rest of this track. It's a track that's loved by many, so he's going to come into the hairpin. The ABS is going to help you here because the rear end can really step out if the weight's not settled on the car, but you power out the other side and then come round. Sweeping right-hander, the sun's in your eyes, and then here comes Spoon Curve. We'll see how much speed you can carry through both apexes here. use as much of the track as possible. There's that little bit of green on the outside that you can use. Just sort of clip the curb on the apex. Found the apex very well on the... Oh, a little bit of a wobble, and that's put him off. But there's plenty of runoff there that you can use. Past the support pit lane. This is pretty much where they started right there. Here's the infamous 130R. It's not as horrifying as it used to be. You can take this flat in most cars nowadays. On the brakes, into the Casio triangle, bounce off one curb, bounce off the other curb, and then that's a lap. Such a great flowing circuit. We'll try and remain on board for the first section because we missed that the last time round. But across the start-finish line, and this is where in 2014 Hamilton stuck one on Rosberg in the wet. You can carry so much speed through both of these corners, and then out the other side, using all the curb, throw it back to the right-hand side so you can open up turns 3 and 4, and here's 5 and 6. Again, sun in your eyes, around, just hanging on. Feels like it's gone on forever. And then up where Jules Bianchi had his unfortunate accident in 2014, and then back up to Degner's where we joined him. So that's a lap of Suzuka, pretty much. We're on board with someone else here. This is Newcomb, I think, in the Emil Ray car. Oh, huge wobble, huge wobble. Yes, this is definitely Newcomb. Huge wobble in the first Degner. He's got it all sorted for the seconds to go under the bridge. That Bridgestone bridge. That's the figure of 8 part, so there'll be cars screaming over the top of there at some point during the race, and good defensive work into the hairpin, but it looks like Witt might have another go at him with the crossback, but no. Newcomb's got this one covered. Newcomb heading into Spoon Curve here. Oh, he's gone a little bit too deep again. This is going to bring Witt back into play. Let's see if, as they come up towards the 130R, how good the slipstream is in these cars. So you've got Witt's Aston Martin chasing Newcomb's Lexus. I mean, it's basically a rebadged Toyota Supra, but here we go. Witt having a look down the inside, but you've got to be really, really brave to try the inside of it. I mean, if you're Fernando Alonso, you can go around the outside there, but hard on the brakes, you can see the graphics showing you the speed, revs, traction control settings, ABS settings, everything that Nick's got on his car to help him. It's a case of the car's giving me these driver aids, so I'm going to use them. But Vellini is now going to have an attempt on Witt into turn 1. We're in the best seat in the house to watch this, and Witt has got past. You saw that in the background there. Brilliant overtake by the Ferrari. No, it's not. It's an Aston Martin. Ignore me. Is it? Oh, hasn't that updated yet? Oh, yeah, it hasn't updated on that screen, but it's updated on this screen. Right, I'm still learning, ladies and gentlemen, to ignore me. So Vellini in the Ferrari is actually behind Witt. It's just not updated yet on my screen because it doesn't update until the end of the lap. Onwards and upwards and all that. Right, now looking at the outside of Newcomb's car. I love that shot. You can really see how fast the cars are going there. But now Newcomb's under threat from Vellini. Can Vellini do a bit of an audacious dive bomb into the hairpin? No, he's settling back. Oh no, Newcomb's got a bit too deep, and now Vellini's going to have a little bit of a look round the outside of the next right-hander, but no, Newcomb's got a decent enough run. See what he'll do on the exit of Spoon if Newcomb makes another mistake. On board with Vellini, and Newcomb has indeed made another mistake. The side-by-side going into Spoon. We've now got the helicam shot, and Vellini is ahead, but has that Ferrari got enough power or enough straight-line speed? They're going to go side-by-side through 130R, aren't they? Or no, Vellini. Oh, back out of it, man. You can't do it there. Yeah, he's backed out of it. So, Newcomb's managed to hold on to his position. This is great racing. Heading into the chicane here. But Vellini, if he gets a decent exit, that second part of the chicane doesn't look as tight as it looks from the driving position. Is Vellini far enough? up the back of Newcomb to make a move? No, he's not. But he's coming under attack from Witt again. Lap traffic getting in the way. That's Nielsen in the Lamborghini. And Fellini cleverly using his car to block Witt from going past. Using that Lamborghini as a tool. As I say, the track giveth, the track taketh. So the gaps could expand and contract as lap traffic comes into play. Oh, that was a bit wide. Fellini's been taken by Witt. That was not a mistake he wanted to make going through the second Degner corner. We'll see in a quick replay. Oh wait, no, this is a different view. Oh, this is the exit of the S's, whatever they're called. Car number 222 goes through, clobbered that outside inside curb at the first Degner. And then the second one, bit of deja vu, he's been in this place before. And then the Aston Martin takes the position. Thank you very much, sir. But having seen how quick Fellini is, I don't think Witt's going to have that 5th place for much longer. Now we're looking at Scat in 2nd place. He's got a gap of 6.9 seconds to Ghost in 3rd. Ghost, Newcomb, Witt. That's that little battle that we've been watching. Veit has gone off into the distance. He's got a gap of 12 seconds ahead of everybody else. And there is Veit. You just see Scat coming through turn 2. And Veit's got this one in the bag. Pretty much. In-game time showing just past 20 past 5 in the afternoon. 24-hour day-night cycle in Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is something we love to see. So you'll be driving at night, potentially around Bathurst, and I can't imagine a worse kind of hell. The Aston Martin of Mal Witt. Doing what Fellini did, absolutely clobbering the inside curve of Degner 1, but now Fellini's under pressure from Pekla. Head towards the chicane. So Witt in 5th position, trying to catch up. Coming up through the S-bends. That sun's starting to go down behind those ad boards now. Slots coming up towards the hairpin, carrying a lot of speed into that. Very nice driving there from Michael. Pop on the HUD so we can see his braking inputs. That'll be interesting to see. Now looking at Pro Sim Ghost, who is in towards Degner 1. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Having a bit of a issue with the old audio, but everything appears to be working now. Anyway. Hello there. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not fun staying inside, but you know, stay inside and you'll save a few lives, and this will all be over much quicker if you stay inside as well. And now it looks like Patrick Hertz is going to have a go at Nick Newcomb. No, he's not. Okay. Just tried to solve a problem with the the camera controls. It was showing about 4 or 5 drivers with the same name. We're just going to do a reset on that, and the camera controls should work a bit better now. So it was showing people in the pits where they would, and things like that. But, you know, we're all learning here. It's going to be good.
Damn, okay.
Nick Newcomb, you are live on stream. Please don't swear. Okay, maybe not.
Hello?
Oh, he's here. Hello.
I am. I just heard. I was going down into turn 1, so it was the engine note's a bit loud.
Ah, right. Abusing the downshift buttons, were you?
You're a bit quiet underneath the engine noise, I must admit. Yeah. If you could raise your voice a little bit, I'll be fine.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that just for you.
This sun is so low, it is unbelievable.
How's that, darling?
Better.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you, sir.
How's it going down there?
The visibility with the low sun is causing a few problems, especially spotting the apex and such. I've had quite a battle up to now.
I've noticed.
But the main problem has been in certain sectors is spotting the exits, and it's so low. The land of the rising sun is it's not living up to its name so far. But it's fun. I'm different.
Different to what you're used to.
130R is such a great turn, I must admit.
Ah, it's a great turn in anything.
I'm not sure how dark it's gonna get. What is it, 542 at the minute?
542.
Be nice if we can get some light off the big wheel, similar to Le Mans. That would be brilliant. I must admit, it's a bit hot in this cockpit. Hello. Cool. We got it all working properly. Or is there stuff to work on?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
The wonders of technology.
Think I've got another 18 minutes till the pit stop window comes along and put the alter ego in, so to speak.
Nick O. Hulkenberg, is it?
I'd like to finish. I don't want my brake pedals fall apart a la Verstappen style, that's for sure. P7 at the minute, so I've dropped a couple of places in the Degner 1 and 2. Missed the gear change, and that's what happens.
It's good that you can see the amount of pit stops that each driver's made at the side of the screen. Well, the next to their number.
Car 220 and car 99 ahead of me.
Keep it on track.
Seems to be some pretty fast drivers in here.
Yeah.
Some very used to the Assetto Corsa Competizione.
Oh, definitely. I know Mark, who took pole. Is he still in the lead at the minute?
Just a bit, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
From Scat.
We drove together last weekend.
I did some online stuff yesterday, and I did about 4 races, and I didn't last turn 1, so I just got punted each time. It was horrible. Good old open lobbies.
So how's the tires coming along, Nick? Seem to be a little bit sloppy.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Under pressure, as Bowie would say.
Oh yeah.
The front right I was really struggling with at the beginning of the race. For some reason it went up to 29.5 PSI, which is obviously a bit high.
Yeah.
They're both down at 28 at the front left and right. The rears are both down at 27. But I'll go for a tyre change at the pit stop window, give fresh tyres. I'm going to alter the rear brake, drop it down 1.
Excellent.
Looked a bit early going into turn one,
it's
we are just
the
right
braking's not how I wanted. It's like a little squirrely, and hopefully bringing the rear brake down 1 will balance the brake. It's just braking out, so.
Yeah.
And hopefully the second stint will be a lot less troublesome.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to change that kind of thing in the pit stop, sort that out, and get the pit crew to do all that.
it looks like when from sitting inside the car that the sun is really reflecting into the glass, and it must be very hard to see anything going into the corners and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with being in VR, it's like you can't exactly put the reflector glasses on, can you?
No.
Lewis Hamilton style orange tint, you know. So it's not happening today, like, for some reason. Maybe it's something to look at. You could any modders out there, go and fill your boots.
Yeah. It was good talking to you, Nick. We will jump on to some of the other guys and leave you alone for the rest of the race, I guess.
We might have a word in the second stint. I'll change some volumes. I'll push some volumes up in the pit stop window, so it'll be a little better. But
your voice is crystal clear now. We don't have any issue hearing you, so no worries.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Cheers now.
Yeah, there was Nick in his cockpit directly from the car during the race. It was very good to hear from Nick and how demanding the Suzuka track is. Aiden, do you have any to comment on that?
Well, going through the S's, it did sound like he was really struggling with his force feedback, and like you said, the tyre wear on that left-hand side, because of the loads you're putting on through turns 1 and 2, that's going to throw the tyre pressures off a bit and put some extra wear on the tyres that you don't really want. So you just got to be a little bit more careful than normal, really. But once it's got some fresh rubber on, the car will be even better to drive than it should already be.
No, he maybe on the straight he will be coming back factory. It seems that he has a little more power sometimes. You might see a close comeback anytime soon between those two again. It seems that the ProSim Ghost and the Luca Pedlica is also very close, about 2 seconds gap. And there's 1.2 seconds gap on Michael Slot and Nick Newcomb. Let's go to that position number 8.
I may have figured out what I did wrong. Because now you can hear me. A bit too loud as well.
It's going through fine on here.
Yeah, but it was on the stream.
Ah.
It was going through way too loud. This broadcasting tools, the options it gives you really sort of can spiral out of control.
It won't let you click on Brygard for some reason though. Because it's showing Brygard in 9th, and then it's showing Dono also in 9th.
Yeah, there's something going on about people coming onto and leaving the server, and when it's been turned on all the way through the qualifying session and the warm-up / practice session, that kind of makes it go completely. Yeah, it shows people that are not on the server. It needs updating. You can see as well in the timing tower right now, there's 10 active cars on the track, and Aiden, if you look at our tool, we have 13 cars to click on, so something's wrong.
Yeah, you've got Brygard, an extra 9th place.
Nick's being caught up by Hertz right now. 0.2 of a second gap. If you go to Hertz, oh, he's in the pits now. Okay, so that's why I was showing the gap, because he was in the pits. Okay. Back out on track again for Hertz. That's the first pit stop for Hertz, and we're coming down to close to the hour now of the race. That's close to halfway. So I'm guessing some of the cars that have already pitted have decided to make it a 2 pit stop race. That would of course allow them to run low mix settings as well. See, once we go on board with a car like Hertz, and then we could select the basic HUD here, down at the bottom left, bottom right of your corner, but the left part of that bottom right cluster, you'll see it says map, and then it says 1 out of 12. So he's currently running the highest possible boost map that you can run on a car.
it's pretty much all the features of a modern GT3 car are modelled in this. So you've got like the flashing of the headlights to let lap traffic know you're coming up behind, or just to show your frustrations with another driver, and also the indicate left and indicate right option, which I've always thought was pretty cool. So you can let people know which side you intend to overtake them, and hopefully avoid a little bit of unnecessary contact, especially at somewhere that's very, very tight, like the Hungaroring, which is a great track that's on this sim, and at Bathurst as well. With going across the top of the mountain, you want to get lap traffic out of the way as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, and you see the differences between the cars here. You can see Nick's Lexus here only has 5 steps of engine mapping. So that's down to the individual car designers to.
The Ferrari's got 12.
Yeah.
Let's see how many the Aston's got.
Maybe 12 seconds of ECU settings is a bit excessive. I'd prefer 5 instead of 12.
Seems that the sun is nearly going down now. There's not much time left.
Okay, we had the provisional leader, Mark Veed, in the pit as well. And for your information, Aiden, it says 1 out of 8.
Yeah, it does. Just 8 on the Aston Martin.
We now have Thomas Breinigo in the pits.
Oh, second pit stop round for everyone. Some of these have chosen to make it a 3 pit stop race, I think.
Nick Newcomb in the pit lane.
It's now Nico Scrap, who is the leader of the race now, followed by Mark Wright. That will be a fight we would like to see very much right now.
Veit's right at the back of Mal Witt right now, which is something that's going to look a little bit tasty in about half a lap or so from now.
Seems that Michael Bernberg is still in the race, but he had like a very hard race to begin with. He was like in a collision with another car and he had to go fix early in the race his car. We know Michael Bernberg for being a very stable driver during the EVC Endurance E-Racing World Championship. So
this will be a new platform for him, John.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's also what I'm commentating on. He's a very good driver, so I know for a fact that if he's getting to feel this Assetto Corsa game, he will be good.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Exactly as race control tells everyone that we're halfway through the race.
Veit having a bit of a sniff into 130R, but he's thought better of it.
We got Mel Witt in the pit again.
It's fight on track right now is Verlini and Veit battling for P4.
Veit too far back this time.
Some very close racing there.
Wow.
Huh. That's that looks so realistic in the sun going down.
Oh, Veit round the outside maybe? No.
I am thinking that might maybe be thinking that this is lap traffic.
This is most definitely for position behind
It
Verlini.
is.
The marshals at the side of the track also bring out the blue flags and the yellow flags for the necessary reasons. So But if Valini was definitely being lapped, he would have moved over a long time ago by now. So this is most definitely for position, and I think Veit knows it.
Yeah. If there was blue flags, but when the sun goes down now, they'll have these huge LCD, like color barge boards at the side of the road, and it would be really easy for both drivers to see that there was a blue flag going on.
Here we go, bad exit.
Oh,
That was a very nice overtake.
can we get a replay on that from the helicam? I was going to ping you about it, Aiden, but the way you know it's a replay is when all the graphics goes away. It doesn't slow any small R or something anyway, it's just all the graphics goes away. Really good exit by V. He had that one already from the apex of the corner. He had it set up.
There we go, coming out of spoon curve, you'll just see Valini just get the exit a little bit wrong, and then Veit just goes, alright, I'll have that then. Just look at the speed difference here.
And nice to see, Aiden, that actually the replay options really do work when it's in a multiplayer session.
It does, yeah. Veit now up into second place because I think Scaps had a bit of an issue at some point. Veit clearing the lap Mercedes there of Bernberg.
Oh, a little bit too brave. A little bit too brave by Nico's gap. Started out as a good overtaking though. But then he overshot it on the inside curve and lost the car completely.
Just pulled up a replay, so we've got the last 1 minute of this before it all went horribly wrong for him.
Let's have it from on board on yours, if we can do that, because we just had it from outside. You can see he's going to clip the curve. Yeah, he's going to clip the curve on the inside. Lost control.
Way too much.
Hit the green stuff.
Just kept it out of the wall.
Just from when he touched the curb on the apex on the inside, it just suddenly went from racing to a dancing school. It was all waltz from there, slow waltz.
Hertz picked up a drive-through penalty. Will that be because he took too much of... No, maybe not. That's not him, is it?
No, he's serving it right away. He went outside on... What corner was that? Down at the very far bottom, the two left corners, Aiden. He went wide down there and kept on it like he was foot planted. I think it was a cut track penalty.
Could be a spoon if it's the two left-handers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another huge wobble.
He is all over the track right now. There seems to be a bit that he's struggling a bit with his exits.
Might be time for him to bring it in and put some fresh rubber on then.
I'm contemplating his pit stop strategy. Because there are people in the timing tower right now, there are still people showing with orange 1. But surely they didn't just have one pit stop.
I think Newcomb's made 2.
So that's, did they stop this pit stop round?
I'm not sure. I've not spent enough time in this to know all the ins and outs yet.
Oh, and I have not gone through all the settings that might affect this. I have no idea why it wouldn't show the specific number of pit stops. But always just seems to show 1. Oh, battle for the lead. No battle for the lead. No, it's Mako Bite just clearing second place. I'm sorry. I think that might actually have happened because of a pit stop for one of the other drivers, or a driver accident by Bellini. Because suddenly he jumped from having the gap of 2 seconds to... It's up to 9 seconds now. Did Bellini have an incident?
It should probably appear that way. Let's try and pull up a replay of that. So he's coming through the chicane. He went a bit too deep into there. So that's
Right, still
nothing
behind. Somewhere, or is he ahead already?
this is the
ahead
replay, so
already.
he'll be behind this, won't he?
Yeah, but he's ahead already. There's no white.
Yeah,
Aston
so
Martin
we have.
behind there.
He's got through a while ago for that one.
For some of the new viewers here, we can just tell the game we're watching is Assetto Corsa Competizione, which you can buy on Steam for anyone interested in racing. It's a great game, great graphics, great sound.
Great cars, great physics.
Yeah.
As we were looking at was the battle for third, correct? There's a whole row of cars. Heading to third right now. 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds between them all. With the Mercedes AMG GT of Bernberg in there as well. He's actually 2 laps behind. But he's keeping up with these guys nicely now, so I guess he's found his way around the car now.
Gap between Verlini and Scap has gone up as a result of that clearing of the lap traffic. Oh, Dono's had a bit of an accident.
Ooh! Actually, I don't know.
We
the
just
damage
got
settings of-
Michael Bernberg having a drive-through, so he has to visit the pits again and go through.
Nice rejoin by Dono, anyway. That is damaged.
Yeah, it actually came up at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you saw it. It's the car number 44, drive through 2 laps remaining to serve. So
Yeah.
we get all the information as it comes through from the in-game race control, which is a nice little feature.
That car is very beaten up now. And he chooses to continue. Not going into the pits to do his immediate repairs. Meanwhile, at the bottom of your screen, someone was really angry with white and flashing lights and everything.
Just had the notification through saying track limits, 2 laps remaining again for car number 44. It's Bernberg.
Ooh. Yes, on the highlights board in the broadcasting tool, you don't get why they get the penalty. You just get when someone passes through and clear the penalty. We will soon get into a time where Mark White will have to turn on his headlights. I just noticed right now he's driving around in... well, the sun's pretty well gone down now. And he's still driving around with no headlights on. And I'm wondering, why is it so dark on one of the PCs, and the other one has it looking like late afternoon, maybe?
Is that down to the monitors?
Nope, it's definitely an in-game thing. Scrap and Bellini in the chicane battling it out. Something that Scrap wasn't very happy with.
Oh yeah, went a bit too deep into the chicane, came back, and was just rejoined straight in front of him. That's why he wasn't happy.
Well, if he's faster, he'll close the gap. Get another try. Dano's in the pits getting repairs. That's obviously cost him about 2 laps already, I think. He's down to 10th place now.
And his yeah, that was after he went off at the hairpin. But Bernberg's still driving around, not taking that drive-through yet. He's got 1 lap left to serve that penalty.
I think it's for the sake of Bernberg, he just wants to show he can actually not be last. He's fighting for his life there, so...
I might have to go and do some investigating here, so I'll be off. I'll try to find out why one of the PCs is showing everything like it's... yeah, way later than it is. It is 19 minutes past 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so early evening on the Suzuka track. And it definitely shouldn't look like it's 10 o'clock.
He just had Michael Bernberg flashing his lights on the corner there. Really doesn't know what the purpose was for that, but no cars, no animals around, so yeah. Michael Bernberg is now in the pits taking his drive-through.
Pekla leading the pit lane as into 4th place. Bernberg's penalty's now been upgraded to a stop go for 30 seconds for not serving that drive-through penalty.
He's now exiting the pits. Aiden, can you jump on board on Bernberg's car to see how he's controlling the car?
Yep. Having a bit of a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing two-man moment through some of these corners. It's as if he's using a sequential stick shift rather than the floppy paddle gearbox that the Mercedes would normally have. Unless he's fiddling with his engine settings and traction control stuff.
I just saw that Scap Bellini push, touch, shove thing. Did you guys see that?
No. We are now watching Michael Bernberg directly in his car on board.
I don't think Bellini and Scap are good friends now at all.
So maybe we might go to Vellini now.
1 of a second faster right now.
Aiden, could you jump to Vellini?
I've just been finding a replay of it to see what happened, but it's
a while ago.
Was it? Oh, okay.
It's more than a minute ago.
Bellini nearly lost control there. Little bit of oversteer.
Bernberg in for his stop and go.
Might I add that's his second one, right?
The first one was a drive-through, but he didn't serve it properly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's they've just added another one on top for him.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So if you don't serve your drive-through penalty, you'll get an extra 30-second stop and go on top of that.
It appears that way, yeah.
Harsh.
But then again, at the same time, you could argue you should have served your penalty when you were in it.
Sure.
Exactly.
It's always best to get those out of the way. The instant you get them, just the same lap, just pit in and get it done with. Especially the drive-throughs where the pit crew doesn't need to get ready for anything. Just drive through the pits, just get it served.
Yeah. As Bernberg leaves, Vellini comes in, but I don't think Bernberg was stationary for 30 seconds. Oh no, stop and go cleared. Right, so maybe he was. I suppose for us 30 seconds is a lot shorter than it would have been for him right there.
He's just sitting there tapping the steering wheel. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. This is a regular pit stop. What a shame we don't get the pit crews the animated pit crews for all of the other cars. You only get that when it's your own car.
Yeah, iRacing does a similar thing, doesn't it? With the you only see your pit crew and nobody else's. It kind of ruins the immersion aspect, especially with things like NASCAR and Indy having the animated pit crews now.
I'm really hoping.
Ah,
they wouldn't
Burberg's
add it.
binned it.
He did? Oh no, he binned it properly.
Pulling up a replay.
Here we go. Full control, full control. Still in control. Losing it out on the outside. Dirty side of the road.
Just caught it on the exit of Dunlop and then boff.
But it really looked like he was going slow already. And that he wasn't paying
He's retired.
attention or something.
He's retired the car.
Yeah. Okay. What a shame. I would have liked to see by the end of the race what he would be able to do, because he's an okay, decent, fast driver. And obviously what he did tonight is not representative of his normal pace. Newcomb taking the wide exit of 130R. Down in 7th place. That's not what I expected from a guy who's been driving this simulator now for months.
Well, he's down to 6 because Hertz has come into the pit lane.
Yeah. That's awful quiet and nothing going on like that. The problem with that animated pit crew not being there is just frustrating. I read on the official forums where one of the developers said that it was because of the pit crew might be run down by the other cars, and it would look really strange if other cars just drove or would be able to just drive through the pit crew of other teams.
So space them out.
Okay, so Hertz says in the YouTube chat that he just parked the car. It is a test race, so of course you're very allowed to quit the race whenever you feel like it.
But for those still running, it's still a lot of valuable experience. And
We're still watching Hertz on live stream in the pits.
so we are. I'll get rid of that.
And I will say as well, normally we have real life race control watching the race as well. And with these tools that we've got to monitor the race, it's actually much easier for race control to do their job in this simulator. Unfortunately, we don't have that tonight. So yeah, whatever happens in the game happens.
Could you give a brief overview how the studio looks like to some of our viewers?
Well, there's no one in here, but we can pull up the webcam.
Just need to imaginary Aiden and Lewis sitting there. Yeah.
And then we've got the television screen behind it right there for video interviews. At a later date, we should also be able to pull up some onboard views of the actual simulators of the participating drivers. So you would be able to see them sitting in their simulators and driving. This really makes it obvious that there's a difference between the two computers. I've got monitoring the game right now. And my best guess right now is that the computer on the right is running a 20 series graphics card. The one on the left is running a 10 series graphics card. The one on the left does actually, even though it's a 10 series card, it actually does have more power than the computer on the right. It doesn't look like that, but it does. I would say for with about half an hour left, it's 6:30 in the evening. The one on the right is definitely the one looking the most realistic. On board again with Nick Newcomb. And it appears this game as well, like iRacing, does actually only update the gaps once the cars cross the start-finish line. There we get the 20-second gap again. And then it suddenly goes from 20-second gap to 1 lap.
Maybe we should pull in Nick Newcomb in the studio again, as he's really fighting the car right now, watching him directly. I will bring back Nick to the studio. Hey Nick, you're now live in the studio again.
Hello.
So how does the car feel right now?
It feels so much better. It seems the track temperature and ambient is really working well with the tyres that I've got on. Apart from when I go into spoon. No, it seems the car's a lot better at the minute. I did change the rear brake down to 1. A lot more heat going through the rear brake a lot earlier.
Do you see any chances of you getting some, like another position, like position 5? Is that in reach for you now? Or?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a check. At the pit stop, I had the brakes changed, which cost us a bit of time because I didn't like the way the car was handling either. So I did that. I think P5 might be out of reach, but it's a good learning curve.
So how do you like the Suzuka track by now? Is that a favorite track, or do you have any other tracks that you would like to drive next time?
I think Misano's a great track as well. That's got some great features. But I think most of the calendar is a great. There's some great driving, suits different cars. You might have a great battle with Aston Martin in this one, but you might have another battle with the Audi against the Porsche and another one. Some tracks sort of benefit different GT3s, so it's just like you would want it. And I think a season would be really difficult to predict, in honesty.
That's what we aim for. I was going to ask you, Nick, as well, how does it look with your pit stop strategy? Are you able to do the race on a single stop?
I'm not sure. A full 2 hours might be a stretch. You could definitely push it. I started with 90 litres and ended with, when I got into the pit, with about 3 litres. I think I'm not sure what the tank capacity is.
So you're running on the Mix 1 setting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also the most powerful and most fuel consuming setting. Do you have any feel of what goes, like how much does it go down in power and lap time if you compare to the use the fuel?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm doing this race on mixed one. The fuel flows about 2.9 per lap. But I can easily change that down to a mix, especially the longer races. You would definitely not run mix one. You would run obviously a lower mix to get better fuel figures, and give you the option if you're chasing somebody down or you're being chased down yourself to up the mix for a set number of laps.
Yeah.
But
of course requires testing from
I'm just trying to see what the
like they would have
it is on this one.
Yeah. So obviously everyone that's participated now, when the season starts, will have a small advantage, because I think we're going to stick with the current traditional race calendar, not the dates, but the tracks. And I think we might add, compared to what's out there officially right now, we may add tracks to the calendar even further. And right now it looks like it's not going to be a race every month. It looks like it's going to be a race every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good. It gives teams a chance to work out strategy, etc., and make sure that they come to the track with a pit strategy set in place. So there's no mix-up at the pit stops. But it's a thinking man's race for sure.
Yeah,
especially when you
as much as
incorporate the mandatory pit stop, mandatory driver change, etc. Change of tyres mandatory. You could have all sorts of things in place to make teams think.
And I think from the chat on YouTube, it's Hurt that's thanking us for a good event, and he's saying he thinks it was really nice racing against this Newcomb guy.
Well, it's nice to just to see how it works for sure, and I learned a little bit on the pit stop strategy, because you can obviously set that up in fuel and strategy column.
Drive-through for
I
Scam
missed
now.
brake change, which it didn't really matter, as we're trying to work out everything within the game. So that was, I think, an added 36 seconds. So I would have been further up the road, obviously, but it's more of like finding your way, and so obviously it's best if I do some learning ready for when the season kicks off, which is all good.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how Scab got this drive-through penalty. It's not really clear to me how that happened, but it just happened. He was in
There's the wheel.
with a small bit for first place, but
Coming good.
It's 10 seconds.
I must admit, when the sun dropped, the car came to us a little bit, and the times dropped somewhat.
Well, right now it does seem there's a small problem with the gaps between the cars right now, because right now it does seem the gaps that we're getting here can't really be used to I was getting so used to being able to use the gaps to change different cameras, and that definitely cannot be used now.
There's definitely some bugs in the Assetto Corsa Competizione game which needs to be cleared out, especially the broadcast overview having issue collecting the right data.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it does specifically say that you're not supposed to use this tool for broadcasting. You're supposed to use this as an example and program your own.
Yeah.
As Nico's gap goes in to complete his drive-through penalty. 50 kilometers per hour through the pit lane also seems... That's a fairly low pit limit.
Yeah, but it's same for everybody.
Jörg Villa says that mostly it will update, like the in-game timing board should update the differences, the intervals every sector. And Hurt says there's
In car, it's
you were one of
constant.
2 drivers that you could race against without crashing into them. Yeah, we did at the bottom of the field. We did have a lot of debutants in this simulator. None of them though sim racing debutants, just new to this particular platform.
Most of the GTR24H common sim racers are driving in R-Factor 2, for that matter. So for them is to get to know the Assetto Corsa game for the sprint races is also new. So yeah. We had Peklakai overtaking Nick Newcomb. Sorry about that, Nick.
Yeah, he was.
Flashing his lights.
Yeah, I flashed his lights. I flashed my lights at him to go as well.
Yeah. He's a fast driver though. You can't really keep up though. He's like gone now.
It's like I only got into Competizione about January time when I got back from Amsterdam, because I was watching one of Mark's streams. I think it was after the 1.3 update when the force feedback and everything seemed to come to life, and that, so I've been driving it since then, and that's and obviously in amongst R Factor 2 as well, so
Yeah.
it's the fun is definitely there, and the feel and the force back is definitely there as well, so
It's I drove it first time a long time ago. It was I think I drove it in a live stream on my YouTube channel even before it had the multiplayer possibility.
yeah, I had it
Already
first
back
had it when it came out when I was using triple screens, and it was pretty tough, plus the force feedback, and initially when you went over the curbs it was a tough gig. And I didn't drive it until the word was out about the 1.3 update where a lot of things were fixed.
Yeah. What I know Kunos for, Kunos Simulazione, the company making Assetto Corsa Competizione. What I know them for is Netcar Pro.
Yeah, I had Netcar in.
Yeah. And if you've ever tried or driven Netcar Pro, if you're a sim racer, you would just go and buy whatever simulator they make. Cause
I did, exactly.
Yeah.
I've had Netcar, so I know exactly how these guys work.
Yeah. That was so professionally done. that it was actually like it might even been too realistic for computer simulation. Like if you crank that up to the maximum level,
Yeah, for the casual user, it wasn't. It was a bit tough.
yeah, but you had to start your own engine.
Yeah, that was the first.
And you start them like you do with these GT3 cars, but you could still, like, you had to turn on not only the power from the battery, but you had to turn on ignition as well. And if you just turned on the power from the battery and forgot to turn your ignition on, you could actually run the battery flat by trying to start the car without the ignition on. So you had to turn on the ignition as well, and then the car would start.
Nick just had a spun there.
Yeah, the rear just went as if went over a bump or something, and the rear just went. Just felt it lift.
Ooh! That's a weird glitch. There was something on the track, Nick. I can tell you that right now. There was something on the track in front.
Was there?
Right front wheel.
Ah.
The right front wheel just had a really big impact.
I'll see what it's like this lap.
Yeah, we can see it again. I don't know how to slow down the replay, but boop, there it went.
Yeah, I was going too fast to save it.
Yeah. Sorry about that, mate. I don't know what that was. But there was something on the track that you hit.
I wonder if it was a huge marble.
Yeah, I don't know.
But didn't get flattened.
It looked much like you ran over some kind of a big cat or a badger or something. A fox, not big enough. It would have to been something bigger than a fox.
Yeah, because I was taking my normal line and I just felt it go. Very strange. There's realism for you.
And you didn't see anything on track?
No, I didn't see anything. I was spotting my exit as I was going through, and I just felt the car just go. I'll have a look down there, see if there's anything on the track, but I might have just been unlucky in that part.
Yeah, Jörg says that it was a pity that we didn't get more participants for this test race. Yeah, well, it was announced late Wednesday evening, and apparently a lot of people did not notice that it was announced at all for some reason. Sign up was free. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Anyway, it was 13 cars taking the start of the race. So that's still, it was enough for us to test stuff.
Yeah, it's about everybody learning, isn't it?
Yeah. We got some remote desktop stuff tested tonight. We got more testing done on the broadcasting tool. We got the sounds set up properly. We got intro screens, small stuff like that. There's more to come still.
That's what we want. And my little baby scores are going up a little bit as well. Yay!
Yay!
It's good to see the track rubbered in all the way through the event from the beginning to now, though.
Yeah,
That's good.
and it does actually look like it's affected by the drivers as well, because
Like the lanes.
yeah, I've seen this. Like, I've seen the lines of dark rubber right now. I've seen those in other places, in other races on Suzuka. They don't show up where they show up now, where the AI drivers are driving. So there is some form of live road here, especially for the marbles. And the way you just hit that big bump. Yeah, the way you feel the rubber line might be static, but I can show you pictures with the rubbered in part of the track in a different place, and I just noticed it particularly in the spoon curves.
I can imagine definitely in spoon with the different lines people may take. Like.
I am still, like, they're beginning to look more and more similar, the two computers, but I am really wondering why the same game, all the settings in-game are synchronized. So all the quality settings in-game are synchronized, but how different does it look from one PC to the other? Like, it's very much darker on one of them than the other. Riding on board at the bottom right with Nick Newcomb.
I've just checked. I'm only 12 seconds from 5th. I think it's head down now. I think.
I'm getting 6 seconds.
That spin has cost me probably 5th place.
I'm getting Berlini now in 5th place, and I'm getting 4 or 5 seconds.
I didn't think I was so close. I thought I was absolutely miles away.
Actually, yeah, it's 15.
I'll say right, head down.
15. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, we will. It's yeah, on the YouTube chat saying that he can't wait for someone to organize a proper 24-hour spa race in Assetto Corsa Competizione. But most of what we do will have to right now be the content that broadcasting companies and media companies are comfortable with buying right now, and from our experience right now, the longer races, like, it's hard for them to see where in the program schedule to fit in the full 24-hour race, which makes it really hard for us. Even though that is what we want to do, it's really, really hard. The realism and the strength of headlights in this game is stunning.
It is.
It's not only the way it looks, but the strength of the headlights and the way they light up the scenery and everything, and the way that even without this being ray traced, if you look down at the bottom of the car, you'll see that the things that are lit up by the headlights will reflect stronger than things that are not lit up by the headlights. That's an effect I saw testing the other night, and I was so impressed with that.
Yeah, everything looks good.
Yeah, we'll move on to do some broadcast testing in the rain as well, because we need to make sure that whatever equipment we're using will actually be able to handle proper graphics in the wets as well. Look at how much lighter it is on this PC. It's strange how the difference can be that big.
As we are watching right now, having Nico Scap and Mark White just trying to overtake Nick Newcomb from the back. So Nick, he will actually lap you now.
Yep. I'll let them in the front straight. Oi, Joe!
No. Yeah, the card waited for you as well, so I don't
Red
think he was
again.
too proud about that.
Patrick Hurst just made a sorry for you on the chat, so yeah, it's okay. That was a pity because he was actually
Wow, your car is scratched like it. Oh,
at least it was so close by the pit, so you can actually go make a repair now. He says, "Why did you break, Nick?"
yeah, Nick straight into the pits. If you had a buttons, Nick, I bet you could turn on the left and right indicators at the same time.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, great, thanks. Some audio complexity right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, there goes Nick's chances of getting 5th place.
Bueno.
No, it's not just. It's Michael in the YouTube chat saying that the onboard is darker as well, and it's not just the onboard. You can go onboard on this computer, and you can see that.
It's not so dark for me. Is it? But it's dark on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's specifically that. No, it's not dark on the stream.
Less than.
It's specifically one of our computers that is showing up.
Right. Okay.
Quite dark.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes now of the race.
Okay.
And I must say, very impressive driving by Mark Viet. He definitely had this race all the way from the beginning. There wasn't even, he didn't even make like the smallest mistake at all. He just ran away with this. And he's just maintained his comfortable lead all the way since the beginning of the race. But we're going to leave the server up after this. Might be a few changes here and there, but we're going to leave it up with the same settings, so everyone can go in, have fun, and do some online testing.
And where do newcomers find the password to join the server?
Right now, I think actually that we should change the sign-up form and just have a simple sign-up form on the website that you sign up with. Sign up to get the password. It's quite important for us that we get email addresses for contact information to the people that want to participate in this. So Also, if we have to tell people that this server has to be taken down for some reasons or other, it's quite important that we have the email addresses. That's our primary communications channel for everyone, is always email notifications.
For the last 3 minutes, we will be jumping on to Mark White's car. Just watching the car of Giacomo Vallini. And we are now back with Nick Newcomb. Again! Watching you from the behind, actually.
That's
Oh, that's not my
Yeah.
best view.
No.
no, we're actually watching your huge wang.
Wayne. And I'm telling you, it's quite big, actually.
My ass, oh yeah.
Yeah. You know your wang. Know your wang.
And eating all them Danish hamburgers and hot dogs when I'm over there.
Yeah. We will be hoping for.
Your wang's big as a barn door.
Oh, my wang is so big.
Yeah, we kind of like hope that all the Corona stuff will be going away very soon, maybe around summer. Then we'll be having you guys back in the studio, which quite missed actually right now. So it's still not the same.
Yeah, I know, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very different.
I bet to the viewers out there who used to having you guys in the studio as well, this feels a bit
Thin. Yeah.
Proper family thing, yeah, it's really good.
But
Then
this is all for
down for the stream, we'll get onto it.
Yeah, it's all for the safety of things right now, so yeah.
And of course my wife works at the hospital as well, so actually right now she's been off for the week waiting to go into new practice position for COVID-19 testing facility not far from here. So they're waiting for others to get trained before she starts her training program. So hopefully they won't need to start that training program, we're hoping right now. But yeah, as soon as she starts that training program and she has to come home every night and sleep and everything, she is obviously a very dangerous source for containment. So I wouldn't, even though they lift the bans on travel and everything, I wouldn't recommend anyone coming here, because you would be in obvious risk of getting contaminated with the COVID-19 or...
Yeah, I will work in care, so being a support worker, it's pretty much on the front line along with the NHS, so and delivery guys and everybody who helps clean up the place. It's a tough time at the minute.
Victory! Just cross the finish line.
There's the smoke, all the blue and green colours.
Nico Scab going down through the... yeah, there's all the fireworks going on right now to celebrate the victory. Nico Scab crossing the finish line as well. Getting the checkered flag. Marshall waving quite frantically with the checkered flag. He was enthusiastic.
Had one job to do, and he wanted to do it well.
Takes third place, as we see still all the rockets and fireworks going off in the background. Smoke bombs going off in the spectator stands as well. Different color smoke. And then Witt for fourth place. ProSim Ghost. No, not ProSim Ghost in fourth place. What is it? Bellini. Where do I have Bellini on this list? There we go. Crossing the finish line as well. And then Nick Newcomb.
Congrats, mate, on making the finish line.
Done.
Race control just got someone a penalty for driving the wrong way. So that was after
I
the
got
race
2
done.
track warnings.
Down
Luckily,
here,
didn't get a third.
the race. So that's everyone. Okay, thanks for racing, guys. To everyone out there in the sim rigs, thanks for participating. To you, Nick, and Aiden as well, who's off eating his takeaway dinner that arrived just about mid-race.
Thanks for some great commentary there, Eden.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping us test out
Yeah, man.
this brand new solution.
Oh, who got disqualified? Mr. Hertz? Was he doing donuts or something? Or did he not serve his drive-thru?
I think that was Hertz.
Yeah, Hertz, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was messing around and driving the car backwards after crossing the finish line. So I think he's
The game give it.
disqualified, but
Yeah.
the game gave him a stupid penalty for doing something that didn't matter.
Right.
So don't do that. Like, race control will keep watching you even when you cross the finish line. Don't go too heavy on the donuts.
I'm gonna have a nice run, I think.
I think I will be going visiting my lovely wife. I haven't seen her for the entire day, so been out working and directly into the studio after that. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for being here and for backing us up on the live stream. We will be back in some 14 days from now with the next race.
Maybe earlier. Let's
Maybe
see.
earlier,
We
yeah.
need to check with the other guys to see. Like, we definitely need more practice races in, but yeah, what I get from the commentary is that people were quite happy with this as well, and
Green light, show them where to
like
go.
us, they think it looked amazing. So now we just need to up some of the technical solutions around this, and I think we will be actually ready to go.
Yeah, thanks for watching the live stream.
Apologies as well. Sorry to cut you off, John, but apologies as well for the 720p broadcast. Somehow, something was reset on the streaming computer during the night. I lost all of my programming standard languages in Notepad++ as well. Just over the night. The computer's not been off. It's been turned on all the time. I don't know what happened.
I guess that's a failure 40.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
Computer doesn't delete itself.
Yeah, I think there's been an update to something during the night.
Yeah.
That might actually have been auto-run because the computer was turned on.
Maybe it's your brain who's been auto-updated.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, actually for once, there really was hundreds of people watching. So, thank you to all you guys. I know not all of them are here now, but definitely at the beginning of this broadcast event there was a lot of people, and there's been a lot of people tuning in and out through the broadcast. So thanks for stopping by to everyone.
And we wish you all a great Friday night and a lovely weekend with your wife or your family. And please check back later. Thank you.
Goodbye.